You got to unmute yourself.
Week. Hello. And we have sound. Yay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. Nice to see everybody again today. However, we will not be doing live readings tonight. We have a very important guest with us tonight. Greg Bakun is joining us. So thank you, Greg, for being here. So thanks for popping in. Make sure you say hi when you drop in. Hi, Greg. How are you? Hi, Don. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lori. Hello. Thank you all for joining. So today we are not doing live readings today. Today we are actually doing, we're going to talk about manifesting, and I'm really excited for this. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about a few little things that are going on. So hello, Barbara. Thanks for joining. Hi, Miss Paula. I will see you tomorrow. Greg, yes. Oh, hi, Barb. Hello. All right. So first of all, Greg will be on tonight at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So just shortly after we finish here, hang on. Make sure you go over to his page, MN GhostBox, and follow him over there for sure. Leave him a great message. Tell him how marvelous he is. But he will be on tonight at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time doing his experimental sessions, and he is reaching out to who tonight?
We're going to try to reach out to Jackie Gleason tonight.
How cool is that? I'm excited. I'll be excited if he says a catchphrase or something. That would be super cool.
When you said how cool is that, I was thinking what he used to always say is how sweet it is, and maybe if we can get a hold of him, maybe he will talk with us and stuff. And as we always say, there's no guarantee of response, but
right.
What we want to do is we just want to see if he'll come through for us.
I think that's awesome. So make sure you go over there and like his page, Facebook on MN GhostBox. And then also on Sunday afternoons, Greg does a radio show on AM 950 that also streams on that same page. And that is his radio show. GhostBox Radio. I am really tongue-tied all of a sudden.
Yeah.
However, Greg will not be on this week. I will be there. So I am guest hosting his show this weekend. I'm really excited. My friend Renee Evans will be on. She is a holistic nurse. She's got some really cool, amazing things going on. She is also a psychic medium and a paranormal enthusiast. So it's going to be a wide range of topics this Sunday. So I'm really excited for that. And thank you, Greg, for that opportunity.
It's gonna be great. I mean, if Tree was on here, she'd say that it's much more popular. The show is when you're hosting it. So and that certainly boosts my ego quite a bit. So that's that's always fun to hear.
We can never replace you, Greg. That's for sure. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Hi, Denise. Maybe we could. Oh, that would be interesting. There's a good thing. So yeah, make sure you watch and find out what happens.
The reason why I decided on Jackie Gleason on Pluto, with the streaming service Pluto, there is the Johnny Carson channel. I tuned in one night, and in 1985 he did his only appearance on the Tonight Show. And I thought, boy, he's just so charismatic. And I thought, well, you know what, let's see what we can do. I mean, we don't normally try to reach out to people who have passed that recent, if you will. I mean, I know nearly 40 years ago is not super recent, but at the same time, we try to be very careful about that. We don't want to be like certain people who are just reaching out to people who've passed, really quickly, so I'm very cognizant about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. And so I think it'll be good. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. So hello, Brad. How are you?
Brad.
Oh, we got a full house tonight. This is awesome. Thank you guys for all joining. This is amazing.
Cool.
A couple other things, as you see down below, my website is streaming by, plus my email. I only have a couple things coming up. If you're interested in learning Reiki with me, I have Reiki coming up on February 11th, Reiki 1, in my new space, which I'm so excited for. And if you're in the area on February 4th from noon until 6 p.m., we're having an open house. You can also find that on my Facebook page on my website. I am so excited for this, you guys. It is so cute. It's coming along. It feels amazing in there. I absolutely love it. So if you're in the area on February 4th, please stop by for our open house from noon to 6. The first 20 people are going to get a little gift bag with all kinds of goodies in it. We'll have some refreshments throughout the day, and you just can kind of see what it's like in there. And then 10% off if you sign up for any future events or services or classes that day, and products will be on sale too. So all kinds of amazing things happening. So hi Todd, how are you? Thanks for joining. Oh, no worries, Denise. If that, totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want anybody flatlining because you're watching us. That's not a no-go there. So hi Amy, how are you? Nice to see you. Hi Lori. I've clicked them back and forth. So Amy and Lori, hello. All right, so Greg, let's kick this off. Let's talk about manifesting.
So what we wanted to do was, for those of you who follow my radio show or anything, one of the things that we tend to do, what we did on January 1st, is we had an episode where we had Shar on, and we did an episode about manifesting a positive 2023 and how to manifest. But the station didn't really want to manifest anything. What it manifested was everything not working. And so that day, as it happens, January 1st, because it was closed, the station that is, and we pre-recorded, they only played the first and the last segment, and then the rest of the hour was dead air with what was it? Jazz music or something playing for a minute, and
something. It was really random and weird. I'm like, hey, I don't think things are working.
right. And that that's great, and the part of the thing that we're going to be talking about today about manifesting is how things don't always go the way that you expect them to go, and how you roll with, just go with the flow. And so what we're doing today, we're going to be talking about manifesting. I'm going to kind of take the lead of the questioner as we would for the radio show, and really put it out for Shar to answer questions. This is, of course, as any sort of thing like this, we need you all to join in. If you have questions, if you have ideas, if you have success stories with manifesting and you want to put it into the comments, I think that would be really fun to see. And then we might be going over the hour limit tonight. There isn't any on things. There isn't anyone after Charvinity. So we might go for a little bit longer if the conversation is good. So I think, why don't we start with this, Char? Let's just go through, we all hear the word manifesting. We all, we hear it. Let's just start very simply. What is it?
Well, manifesting is basically, I don't have a dictionary in front of me, so I'm just going to go off how I would like to word it. Manifesting is basically, trying to have your own outcome, creating your own outcome, changing your energy to creating something that you want. Some people say wishes, hopes, dreams. But when we think of manifesting, we think of I'm manifesting this, I'm manifesting a new house, I'm manifesting success, I'm manifesting this. But what people don't understand is they're manifesting every minute of every day, all day long. So you are manifesting what energy you are in all the time. And so manifesting is just you creating something. Julie says it perfectly. Co-creating with the universe. Absolutely. So you're co-creating with the universe, and you're doing that all the time. So whether it's intentional or unintentional. So can we start? I'm new to math. Yes, we are going to start with this. So you're basically, your energy, your attitude, what you're doing is what you're creating. So it is really true, is what you put out there is what you get back. And that's how the energy in the universe work. So make it simple. Energy, everything is energy, everything is frequency, and everything is a vibration. And we match those, or we put those out. And so your thoughts, your feelings, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. And so just to put it simply, there can be people that you meet and you vibe with them because they have energy. They're like you, they have likes. And so it's a good energy. You kind of connect to it. There's just people that you don't connect to. And it's not that they're bad, but their energy is different. And therefore you don't connect to it. So it's almost like when you wake up in the morning, you wear your favorite shirt. There's energy in that shirt that you've put into it because you like it. And therefore it makes you feel good. And so that's how energy works, and that's how it works. And so when you're putting that out constantly into the universe, it matches that and sends it back. So basically, that's kind of how that works, if that makes sense. So
And I think it's worth going through again too, that manifesting doesn't always mean good things. You talk about your vibe, you talk about, the mood, you talk about, and the idea of that, if you're in a rut, and it happens to all of us, but if you're in a rut and you are putting out there like nothing can go right for me, I mean, that's manifesting too, right?
Absolutely. So here's the thing with manifesting is it's not always about, I'm going to sit down and meditate and manifest. You do it all day long because you're putting out energy, thoughts, and frequencies all day long. So it's really about how you are in your brain and what you're doing in here and what you're speaking and what you're actually doing with actions. So if your brain is probably the most hardest part to try to train to flip, and I always say flip the script. So, if you are spending your days saying, oh, it's just my luck, nothing goes right. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all. You're telling the universe that that's what you want, even though that's not what you want. But because you repeatedly say it, you're putting energy into it. And so it's flipping the script. So sometimes, if things don't go well, and this is hard to do this in the moment, but you can say, gosh, I'm thankful for that opportunity. It didn't work, so I'm going to move on. Sometimes, of course, you want to stomp your feet and cry and scream and cuss and all these other things. And that's being human. But it's how you can flip the script to kind of find do I want the energy to come back to me? If I put out that low energy, it's just going to come back.
Can you do that though? Is it okay to be like, you know what? I just want 3 to 5 minutes of being upset about this. Is that okay to do?
I think it's okay to do. I mean, it's when you get stuck in it. If
Yeah.
if you wake up and it's like, if I wake up and of course, I had to get up early today to be somewhere at 6 a.m. So I was like, oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. So all day long, I'm saying, I'm tired. Somebody's like, how are you today? I'm tired.
Yeah.
Well, the universe is like, well, she just doesn't have enough energy for us to give us the blessings that we are going to send today because she's not in the right frequency. She's in a low frequency of being tired. She's not energetic and happy and grateful and in a right mindset. And it's not that the universe is punishing us. It's just trying to match us. It's just trying to help us. And if we're sending out, I'm way down here, then the universe is like, okay, well, we're going to match that.
Yeah.
And just let, and help you there, be there.
And what does Miss Denise have to say? We manifest every time we do spell work. It's basically,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, and also I gotta say, because you run into this too, where everything's going wrong, and you just feel like you're wit's end, and then someone might say, well, "What else you got for me? What else, universe, you got?" I mean, you don't ever challenge, because if you're asking the question, well, what more can go wrong? They're going to show you.
Right. Yep. And sometimes it can be really subtle things too. We think about things that we want and things that we want to do. And I use Kim all the time, so I apologize. But
also known as Funyun. Yeah.
Also known as Funyun, right? So basically what happens is she would really wanted a new car. Didn't really think about it, but she knew her car was kind of getting to the end. It was still working. It was good, but she's like, I should probably think about getting another car.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when do you want to do it? I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. Well, how are you going to do it? Are you going to trade in? I don't know. And so she just was like constantly looking at new cars. And it wasn't that she was picking one out or she had anything, but because she was putting so much energy into looking at new cars, she hit a deer, ended up getting a new car. The universe knew she needed a new car, but she never gave a clear intention on how she wanted that. So the universe provided it for her. And it doesn't always have to be that drastic, but it can be. Like for me, one of the things that I was trying to manifest was better health. I wanted better health. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't feel good. So it wasn't like I could just get up and go to a gym or do whatever. It really was not doing well. And so the universe is like, well, okay, you need to feel better. Here's what's wrong. Ended up having a heart procedure this year. Well, that was not on my radar. I'm like, here, let's have heart surgery so I can feel better. That was not on my radar. But because I had it, now I feel better. And so sometimes, when you put that out there too, the universe is like, well, you got to clean up this mess in order to get there. So sometimes it feels like you're going backwards to go forwards. So again, you have to be really clear on how you want that manifestation. You have to be really sure what it is that you want and how you want it.
And I would also say too, then that's also where you have to also be very careful, because if it feels like you're going backwards when you're manifesting, it's easy to get back into a rut again of like, see,
Right.
it doesn't work, nothing works for me, I'm so tired of this. Whereas it turned out that, like you had said, it needed to do this to manifest what you asked for.
Right. Yep. And that's true, Brad. The universe does give you what you need. It can take requests, but sometimes if you don't get it, it can be because it was not for your higher good. It might be something that 2020 vision kicks in and you're like, oh yeah, that probably wouldn't have worked out either. So this is a great question. Lori asked, is it possible to manifest for others? Everybody might have a different opinion on this and how, like, we'll see, we manifested cute and here's Linus. So
Yeah.
I personally don't do manifesting for others because I don't know exactly what somebody wants, so I would prefer somebody to do their own manifesting because they know exactly what that looks like to them. They know exactly what that means, and they have to kind of do some of the own work themselves. If I'm manifesting for somebody and I don't have all the details, I may create something that is not good for them. So I lump it into the same category as I don't do readings unless people ask me. I don't do healings unless I have permission. So, but that doesn't mean that I can't manifest for my business that I help people in, and now that's helping people too. So there is like a ripple effect. So if I'm helping for the greater good or manifesting for the greater good, it can ripple out, but I don't get super detailed with people. I hope that makes sense. Sandy, where do I fit in? No, Sandy, I don't think so. I don't think that clumps into manifestation for that one. That's a little different. So, manifesting is something that you do for yourself. So, I don't think you manifested that. No. Linus wants a trip to the fish farm.
Or the loony bin. So or maybe that's me, seeing Lori have a comment in there. Lori was also the one that's like, this is new to me.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do the basics? I guess, the one question that when we talked about this before, which I thought was one that maybe is worth talking about, is the idea of, how do you start with the manifestations if you've not done it before? And like, do you recommend like a scale, like about size to it? Because, it's one thing in my mind, this is just me thinking about it. I'd love to be like, oh gosh, I'd love to have like, this big thing and this big thing and have this big thing, not necessarily all like physical things, but possibly, whatever. And it doesn't work. And you're just like, right away, I'm just like, okay, this is not real or whatever else. Is it easier to, maybe if you're not done it before, start small and really kind of try to hone that?
Absolutely. So I always say, if you want to like a bucket list or like
Mhm.
a to-do list or things, start small. Like, what is it that you want for next week? If you have an appointment or a job interview or something, or you just, be careful what you mean. Some people might say, I want more money. And then your boss says, well, we have mandatory overtime. So again, be specific. So when you say, like, if let's say you want to increase your income,
Mhm.
how do you want to increase your income? Do you want a rebate check? Do you want, what is it? Figure out exactly, get as detailed as possible. It doesn't mean it's always going to happen. But I mean, you have to be very detailed about what it is that you want. And then it's okay to be super detailed. I had this one girl that came to my class and she was saying she was trying to manifest her perfect house. And she had gone to an open house and it was the perfect house, but then somebody else bought it. And she can't seem to get her perfect house because she keeps thinking about that house and she keeps saying, I want that house. I'm like, well, they might not sell. I mean, so
Yeah.
you could say you want a house just like that or pick out the details that you want, so you can't peg hole yourself in there either. So, think about the little things that you want to manifest. I don't know, most weeks I just manifest I want tacos, but sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not, but I roll with the punches. I always, and that's kind of one of the things. If I say I just want to have tacos and I go out and they're terrible, well, I didn't say I want the best tacos I've ever had. I just said I wanted tacos.
And I also think too, like, for example, and I forget who it was earlier on, she said that she had to go because she was wanting to manifest a good speech for tomorrow. And I think that is a great example too of, like, like you said, start with something, you're thinking about something for the week, and it's like, well, this means a lot to me. This is a manifestation. Then I'm manifesting success doing this or whatever else that is on your mind for the week.
Right. Absolutely. So start small and work. And sometimes some of those small things will lead to that big manifestation. So if you're manifesting a big house, a brand new house, we'll start manifesting with a better paying job or a raise at work or a promotion. You kind of start, and I'm going to manifest, a savings account, or what is it that you need to get to that big goal? Break it down small, but be very specific on what it is you want. You can write down, I want a house with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and I want red shutters, and I want a blue door, and I want a picket fence, and I want a swing. I mean, you can literally write all the details down, but then you get to choose if you go to find this house and it's like almost there, are you okay with that or not okay with that? So you get to choose too on what comes your way.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really, and I've since I've gotten into this stuff, I really find it interesting how much, like, our parents, teachers, everything else have been telling us basically to manifest our whole lives without us really knowing that is what it is, or maybe they don't even realize that's what it was.
Right, absolutely. Liz has got a great point. She says, I was working on manifesting a new kitchen, a full remodel, and then the fridge, micro, and range had to get replaced. She was not exactly what I meant, but they're on their way to their new kitchen. So again, be very specific, be very detailed with it. And like I said too, it's like your frame of mind puts into a lot of it too. You have to have gratitude is one of the highest frequency emotions. So when you have a lot of gratitude, the universe likes to match that. So if you're being grateful and thankful for things, then the universe is like, oh, she's in the place of receiving. Let's give her something. When you're closed off and saying, oh, nothing ever happens, I never get my way, when the universe is like, well, she's closed off to receiving anything, we're not going to help her. So you have to be open to it too, and you have to allow divine timing to happen. It's not like I dream a genie, you can just blink and it's there. It takes time. Things have to work out. And like I said, with the heart issue, that was not on my radar, but in order to get to where I needed to be, I had to go through some hurdles to get there, which was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh.
Well, good.
Perfect.
I mean,
I'm down.
tacos sound amazing right now.
I know, right? Careful what you wish for. Absolutely. So be very clear on what you wish for sure. Oh, okay. Well, see, here's a perfect example. So Ernie's manifesting a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, a clawfoot tub built at least 100 years ago, and at least 3 spirits native to the home. What kind of spirits? Angry spirits, happy spirits, loving spirits? Get a little more clear on that one, Ernie.
And so Lisa here, she talks about the daily gratitude, and when we talked last about this, you talked about the daily gratitude, which is an absolutely perfect thing to bring up. Can you talk a little bit about that and what you do?
Yeah, so gratitude is, like I said, is one of the highest frequency things that you can do. And so it puts you in that state of wanting to receive and being thankful for things. And the universe, let's just say the universe almost sees it as being polite, like, oh, you said thank you, and then wants to give you more. So in the morning when I wake up, I think of at least 5 things I'm grateful for. Doesn't matter what they are. I'm grateful I woke up. I'm grateful I had a warm blanket. I'm grateful that, you know, I have clothes to wear today. Whatever it is, I'm grateful for whatever it is. And before I go to sleep at night, I do the same thing. And it can be random things. And throughout the day, I'll find something to say I'm grateful for. It doesn't have to be anything big. Nothing major would have happened. But right now, I'm grateful for the internet. I'm grateful that Greg is here. I'm grateful that all of you have
We
joined.
all are. Yeah.
You know, so we're grateful for all these things. There's so many things to be grateful for. And even when you're on your lowest moments, it is hard to find those things to be grateful for, but there's still something to be grateful for. You know, going outside when it was like -10 the other week, I was freezing, but I'm so grateful I have a car. I don't have to walk. I'm so grateful that I have gas in my car. I'm grateful my car has heat. Whatever I could find, I could say I'm grateful for, because I want to stay in that frequency of being grateful and getting it. And then the other thing too is flipping the script. Again, yes, it's freaking cold out, but you know what? I'm not where there's scorpions, and I'm not, I had to find something to kind of make it,
Mhm.
be grateful for. And, you know, yes, I don't like the snow. I don't really like it, but I flipped the script and I stopped in my driveway one day and I just looked at it. I'm like, it's very beautiful. It's really pretty. And I'm going to admire it before I get on the road,
Mhm. Mhm.
because me getting on the road, it makes me nervous because I've had car accidents in the snow. So I'm like, I'm going to admire its beauty before I leave. And it kind of made me feel calmer. So again, it was just, I was flipping the script on it. So whenever I find a challenge or something that doesn't feel good, I try to switch it as much as I can.
And I very much too. I like the idea of just being happy for the stuff that we take for granted. And the thing about that too, it's like when we last spoke, you had said like I would be thankful for the cheese I was able to snack on, and it is like that is exactly it. And like for example, Denise and Ernie have not manifested me to go down to Red Yeti for steak with them yet. I mean, that was very clear that hasn't happened.
Both of us, hello.
There you go.
If you're heading off to Kentucky for to see Denise and Ernie and the Red Yeti, I'm like gonna like hide in the back of your car somewhere.
They have to manifest it instead. I got a picture, so we won't talk about that right now.
Well, Kim will bring the Funyuns.
Oh God.
We'll have snacks. Oh my god.
She only does that at sacred locations of solitude and death. So
Well, from the looks of it, the Red Yeti looks pretty sacred. So
it clearly is to some, isn't it?
right. So Barb has a good question. Do you just write down what you want to manifest, say it out loud, or both?
Yeah.
All the things. So here's the thing. So let's say you want to manifest a vacation to Florida. Okay, so you're going to write down what your vacation is. Figure out what hotel you want to be in. Maybe print out a picture of it. If there's something specific you want to do, you want to go snorkeling or whatever, put it all down on paper what it is you want. Think about it, talk about it, write about it, journal about it, watch a show about it, go to the store or go online and buy a Florida t-shirt and wear that, or something like that. Just constantly like putting, it's almost like you're living the hype. Really put it out there, whatever it is that you want. So sometimes, you can wear something or put something in your pocket that has to do with what you want. And then you're just like constantly have it in front of you. So you're thinking about it and putting out that energy, and you're talking to the universe, like, this is what I really want. And, and be very specific again, what it is. If you're going to go snorkeling, make sure you're going snorkeling in the ocean, not the swamp, just be as specific as you can be with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought this was really an interesting question.
Oh, do some people have a natural talent at manifesting? One of my sisters seems to be one lucky person, always getting a deal when shopping, always gets best parking, etc. Well, it's kind of a twofer for that one. So one can be the mindset. Is she in her internal dialogue? Is she ever talking about how she doesn't get these things? And I caught myself the other day because Sandy went to and got these really cool things for the office. I'm like, gosh, when I go to Goodwill, I never find everything. And I went, that's why I never find anything.
Yeah.
because I say I never find anything. So it could be one of those things too. So it's like if you put it in the mindset that you're going to find something and like you are going to find the best deal, this is what you're going to get, it happens. And it doesn't happen instantly. It's you have to repetitively put that energy out there. The other thing too is you could bring it back to astrology. Wherever your Jupiter is in your chart, that's your lucky planet. So that can really kind of like how things line up for you astrologically can make you very lucky in a lot of places. If you're very lucky in like if you have it in the 8th house, that's the house of like gambling and money. So you might win it big. So there's other times too, you know, where there's certain days are luckier than others. So there's a combination of things. So some people do have to work a little bit harder at manifesting than other people do, but and then some people it just happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And isn't it also perhaps a wise, and it's hard, and I get it, it's hard, but not to worry about what other people's manifestations are doing. You know, it's like just focus on your own stuff. I mean, yeah, you can see that, oh, stuff is going well for someone, but it's more of like, don't worry about what's going on over there behind the curtain. Just worry about yourself.
Yeah.
Today is just weird. Today is just weird.
Now, did you manifest this one, Greg?
No, I can guarantee that was not manifested, and no, but thank you, Denise. And I mean, I don't know if I should thank Ernie because I don't know if he's in on it, if this is news to him as well. So, you know, but
well, I don't know. He's manifesting those spirits. He might get spooned anyways by one of them.
Yeah, well, you know, that's probably a better opportunity for him.
Yeah,
probably more pleasurable too.
Yeah.
So.
And this is an interesting too. So Sandy, so sometimes, yes, it can be very hard to manifest. And I'm not saying that you have to be positive all the time. You've had some things happen in your life that were unexpected and are rightfully so put you in a place of, you know, being in grief and sadness and everything, which is a low frequency. And that's fine. You have every right to be there, and that's okay, and honor that. The thing is, it's eventually things will shift and change, but you decide when that happens. And so maybe you're not in the right place for it right now, but you get to decide when that happens. So I can't answer that specifically, but you've had things that have happened in your life that have caused you to be in a certain space, and rightfully so. So don't put yourself down for that, and don't like not honor that you're in that space because you have a right to be there right now. If that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lisa's got a big one here. Or Lori, I'm sorry.
There's no room for us on the screen.
Okay, so the part confuses me is that a lot of examples of manifestation are basically just you doing the work. Like Lisa, she's my sister, so I'm sure she doesn't mind me using her as an example. She's manifesting her yard for the spring, but isn't that just you creating a to-do list and then following through on your plans? I'm not trying to be skeptic. I promise I'm just trying to understand. No, that's actually a really great question. So yes, in some ways it is a part of creating a plan and putting it into place. Now, if she's manifesting this also means that if she has specific plants or flowers or like blocks or, you know, the landscaping materials or whatever, maybe it means that she's manifesting all of it to be there. And when she goes to the store, she finds it all in one trip, or she finds it on sale, or she finds what she's looking for specifically. Or maybe sometimes, I don't know what she's manifesting, so I'm just throwing stuff out there, but it can be that where she's putting it all into play, and you can do that with anything, but it just might make it easier for it to all come true, if that makes sense.
It's intention. I mean, when
it is intention,
and when you are, I think it can be done anything. Like my intention is to, you know, fix up this house, and once you start putting it out there, I think that helps you get to the right spot, you know. And it is a valid question, but I think it connects you with the universe when
right.
you're able to do all that. And, you know, I think, Denise, I was thinking about it, and I think what happened is I found that picture again of Ernie, and I was looking at it, and I was having some Jell-O, and I was using a spoon. So that might have been what was going on. You know, not 100% sure, but, we'll see how, we'll see how it goes when I come out to the red Yeti. No promises. So
Okay, moving on. Okay, no, action, there is an opposite or equal reaction. Does that apply to manifesting? So when you manifest something good, you're going to get something bad as well. It's how you look at it. So when I manifested better health and I ended up having heart surgery, you could say that was bad, but I looked at it as good. I was getting an answer to my problems. I was getting an answer to what was happening. And I feel so much better after having it done. So some people might say, well, great, now I got to do this. So again, it's all in your perspective. Sometimes the universe puts those little speed bumps or hurdles in your way to clear them out before you can get to what you need. So sometimes you have to clear things that are not meant for you, that are low frequency, that can't be in that space when you get the things you want. So yes and no. So it's how you look at it. It's your perspective.
And I just want to say that, kind of tying with this and with what Lori was saying, I feel like that, first of all, when you're thinking with gratitude, when you're thinking positively, your life is going to be better. I think that it's just how it's going to be. I will not agree with anyone who says that's not the case. So if you're kind of wondering, like, what do you do about, I'm not sure if what Lisa's doing is really manifesting or whatever else. What is the harm of doing it?
Right.
What is the harm of manifesting something that you do have complete control over? There is no harm. What it's doing is that you're just building up a rapport with the universe to help you follow through with what you want to do. And really, I mean, something that takes minutes a day to just kind of be like, just top of mind and thinking it, and like, you're growing a plant and you're just really thinking it through. What's the harm in it? Just like, what's the harm with being full of gratitude? Because what you're doing is you're making yourself a healthier person and a happier person.
Yeah, absolutely. And and I know I've seen Lisa's backyard, but I don't remember specifically, but
Mhm.
maybe it requires, a handyman to come over and do some work or some till work or something. And we all know that trying to get anybody to come over and do anything right now or schedule an appointment for anything is like months out in advance. So maybe everything just opens up and somebody on a random Tuesday, on the day she gets all her plans, like, hey, we can come over and fix this for you, and ta-da, it's done. So it's all the little things along the way. But again, it's like the car. Kim with her car, she was no rhyme or reason what she was looking for, but she knew she wanted a car. She hit a deer. The universe just said, well, you wanted a car, but you didn't specify. Again, you could say that was bad, which it wasn't great, but she did get a new car, and she got a really awesome car that she really likes, that she never looked at.
And before you get to Elizabeth's comment here, I also want to just kind of close the loop on it too. Is like, obviously it is easier to be negative. It is just easier.
Yeah.
And it does take, and trust me, I say this from my point of view. I'm not saying to anyone based on any comments or anything. I have grown up in a very, with a very negative and cynical point of view. And when I got into the paranormal, 14 years ago, whatever it's been now, that's changed. But the point is, it does take some work. And and we all will slip and whatever, but suddenly you just like, I just feel happier, just like, oh, normally I'd be like rude about this or something else. It's like, no, I'm happy for people. I'm happy for myself. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Right. And it's one of those things too, where it's like the people you put around you too is also something.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you have the support around you. So like me and Greg, like, we've been friends for a long time, and there's been times where we go to each other, we're like, hey, this sucks, like, what's this about? And we help each other realize, like, you know what, well, maybe this just wasn't for the right timing or the right moment, or it was for your good or whatever. And it's that reminder, having somebody there to help remind you, be in that space too. And so it's just one of those things where you just have to put things out there. And sometimes, let's face it, over the last couple of years, being self-employed hasn't actually been very easy. Nobody has financial income to do extra stuff, for the most part. But I just kept saying, I don't know. It's going to work out. It's all going to work out. And it always has. It's always worked out. I didn't want to put limits on it. I said, if it's my classes, my services, whatever it is that I get income from, it will all come to me just as I need it. And it did.
Absolutely.
I didn't become a millionaire because I didn't put that out there. I just said, I just want to be able to get through. And I was fine with that. I didn't want to overextend it. I just wanted to keep going, and I was able to keep going. So now Elizabeth asks about the full moon or the new moon can help or boost manners. Absolutely. Anything you want to use can help. I know Denise talked about spell work. The more that you do, the more energy, intention, and thought that you're putting into it, the more the universe sees that you like it. It's almost if you have like a little kid and you're the mom and they have like 3 toys and they're always playing with that one toy. Their focus is always on that other toy. You're going to realize like, oh my gosh, they really love that theme toy. I'll get them more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's how the universe is looking at it. They see you constantly being focused on something. It's going to send you more. So with the full moon and the new moon is for setting intentions, because it's like a blank slate. There's no moon up in the sky. So it's like a blank slate. So it's really good to manifest with the new moon for sure. The full moon is for releasing and letting go. So sometimes you can use the full moon to release the things that are not helpful for you and whatever it is that you're manifesting. Or if you realize, that kind of went sideways, let's change it and shift it. I'm going to let go of this, but always do it with gratitude. All right, let's see. Okay, who does not want more crystals? That's a fact. Just saying. All right. Yes, and Sandy, I had your number written down. I deleted the message, and I was going to send you a message. So, I will reach out to you this week for sure. Oh, Linus is adorable. We all love Linus.
Yeah, his name is Linus, but his full name is Liney Doodlebutt. So that's not. But why do we give our animals like 25 nicknames? I mean, the poor thing is so confused. He doesn't even know his own name anymore. I mean, it's just like,
well, and you wonder why he wants to trip you down the stairs.
Because because he doesn't manifest gratitude. He's not thankful for the fact that there is, that there is a roof over his head. All he wants is like, if I don't pay attention to me, he'll try to trip me down the stairs. So, Liney butt.
All right, Elizabeth, I think I've always been manifesting, but I've been calling it planning. True. I go over all the details on repeat of what I need or want and then implement and execute. This is also new. Absolutely. You can call it whatever you wishes, dreams, manifesting, planning, whatever it is, but the more energy that you put into it, the more it's going to happen. So, I mean, you can't just get up and say, I'm going to run a marathon and run a marathon. You have to prepare. You have to know what's involved. You have to put the details in. You have to if there's somebody that needs to help you with your manifesting, if they're, I'm manifesting something, but it requires somebody else's input or help with it. Absolutely.
And I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier too, that we've been told to do this our whole lives in one way or another. They're just, it was just never the word manifesting may have not been a part of it. Just like we've been told by our adults and whatever. And it's something that, just you start to realize that, yeah, you can make this happen. You can really do it.
Right. Here's a really great question. What about the wish list on the first moon after your birthday? I've actually never heard that.
Mm-mm.
But why not? Go for it. I mean, I think so. The other thing too is with the moon cycles, each moon is always in a zodiac sign, and each zodiac sign carries a certain energy with it. And then each of the 12 moons have it, like there's the blood moon, the wolf moon, the beaver moon, the harvest moon. Those have specific energies to it. So you can really dive down deep into what type of moon it is with what zodiac sign it is. And then you can really amplify that energy too. Here's the other thing. If you do moon water, you put the moon water out on a certain moon, you can put what that is. And then as you're manifesting, you can use that water or drink it or whatever it is that you want to do with it. You are welcome. All right. So these are really great questions. The other thing too is people are kind of asking, so how I like to phrase it is you have to use your imagination, your intention and your intuition. So your imagination is basically, what is it you want? What does the picture look like to you, right?
Mhm.
And then your intention then is, how is it going to happen? Like, how are you going to make that happen? All right. And then the intuition is to kind of like shift and change as it goes. Do you need to alter something? Do you just shift something? Maybe you left some details out, so you need to kind of really put those details back in. So using your intention, imagination, and your intuition are super, super important. You do it all the time. You just do it more intently for the other things as well. Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Because now you're like doubling up that energy for the things that you want and how you're doing it. So however you do it, and you know, somebody doesn't have to do spell work. Maybe you guys are having conversations about it. Maybe you are, you know, like I said, you're going to go to Florida. So then you're watching a show about it. You're talking about it. You're together looking at things. Whatever it is that you're doing, the more, if there's somebody else involved in it. So this kind of again goes back to manifesting for somebody else. You know, so if you're actively doing it with that person, if you're both working on that manifesting together, absolutely it amplifies it.
And this is an example of how manifesting can backfire, because I think what she did try to manifest like a husband, but then she made the mistake of saying, and I'd like his name to be Ernie. And this is what happens when you do it. So just kind of a stark warning for anybody, you know, just be very careful, you know, what you like Brad said, careful for what you wish for, because it's going to happen.
I actually think they're pretty cute together.
You know, I'm kidding.
All right, so I noticed I've been frustrated throughout the day, and I was tired of having negative energy hanging around all day. Each day, I would start by reading oh, that's a bad way to start the day. I decided to stop reading my news feed, and my days have become so much more peaceful. I didn't realize they were connected until I got my peace back. Absolutely. Current events are like, send you off the deep end, no matter what side you're on or what you're looking at. It's a chaos world. So absolutely. So disconnect from the things that are bringing you negative energy. This is a great point too, because we
Mhm.
talked about this. So some people say that they like to watch certain things while they go to sleep. So what are you watching? Are you watching something do you have the news on while you fall asleep? Are you watching horror movies to fall asleep? Are you watching, you know, like true crime to fall asleep? Those are all, not that they're bad, I'm not docking anyone, but they all have a negative underlying low energy connotation to it, which can affect you. Your body is tapped into that information, and it's feeding into you. So make sure that you are doing the things. So you put up high vibe music on, or you're watching comedy, or, you know, things that make you happy and laugh, and you're raising the vibration within your home. So even though you might not be thinking about what you're manifesting, you're raising the vibration around you as well. You know, if you have a certain scent that you like, then buy candles or incense or whatever, and use those all the time, and do the things that you need to do to keep you in that higher frequency. So it keeps you in that positive mindset. So it's easier to say gratitude and to be thinking about stuff.
Now, it's also interesting when you binge something. see, we're all in the joke, Shar. The thing is like
Oh,
if you binge something, what is it that you feel after you're binging it? You know, of
right.
anything really. Um,
Absolutely. And I like Barbara's message here. So I'm watching Minnesota Gold before I fall asleep. Okay. So, but Greg always does things with love and light and peace and respect. So he always has a positive reason for what he is doing. So that's a good thing.
I mean, the thing is, like, you know, especially Sunday nights, we'll end with a crossover, and I think a lot of people who are watching, they feel the energy from that, and
Mhm.
I mean, it is very uplifting. It's very nice, and we do really try to. I mean, there has been some exceptions with some of the people we tried to reach out to, but we warn people ahead of time for that. So, you know, if you really feel like that's going to have an adverse effect on you,
Yeah.
definitely do not, and that's very fair. But you know, anyone we try to reach out to, whatever, it's trying to be very much like put you in a good place, or even sometimes we do healings. We try to do healings through it. Thank you for joining us.
Yep. Bye, Denise. Have a good night at work. Well, good. I'm glad, because it can be really, to me, I mean, and personally, again, and everybody is completely different. So me personally, watching Greg reach out to somebody in love and light and to cross somebody over, to pull in somebody's loved one, is very heartwarming to me. And it makes me just like, wow, I'm grateful I got to see that. I'm grateful I got to experience that. What a wonderful experience. And so again, how are you looking at it now? I will admit, and Greg knows this, there are a couple people he's reached out to. It's like, yeah, no, I didn't watch it, sorry.
Yeah.
I can't. And here's my thing, as a medium, there's certain shows I won't watch. Like there was like the Dahmer thing came out, I'm like, I refused to watch it because I didn't want my brain to be in that mindset. There's just certain things I can't watch. And so, and I don't want to connect not only on this realm, but on the other realm to that information either.
And we've had it where, like last week, reaching out to Lizbeth Borden, she didn't leave. After when I stopped the live, she didn't leave. She stuck around for the night. She kept touching Linus, and and that's what it is. When we did John Wilkes Booth, he stuck around for a week. It was really that's something that as a responsibility that I have to doing these, I have to be very careful about what's being projected out to the people watching, because I don't want people to have watched and be like, I haven't slept in days because this freaked me out. Or I don't feel good, and that's something you have to be careful about, because these are, paranormal, they're connections. And I do firmly believe, just because I'm at home doing this doesn't mean it's not affecting you all. That's why we do protection at the start and the end of each one of these that we do.
Right. Absolutely. So was Linus freaked out by that?
Yeah. No, have you seen the video of?
You showed it to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought I showed it. Okay. And then afterwards, I mean, he just kind of hid the night.
Aww.
Yeah. And he's never been affected before by any of this.
And I agree with Elizabeth. I can't unknow it. I can't.
Yeah.
Hello, Joanne. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining, popping in. So yeah, so definitely, again, it's creating your whole environment, and so it's just kind of one of those things where you have to flip the script in your head, which is really, really hard. And I'm not gonna lie, if you come from a place of living with anxiety or depression in your life, you've had trauma, you've had any kind of things that have offset you into that negative place in your head where all you do is talk about the negative part of yourself, it is really hard to flip the script about that. It is really, really hard to change that. But the more that you can do it, you feel better, which then creates things better. Because sometimes when you get into those places, it's hard to feel like you deserve anything. And so you do. And sometimes all people want to manifest is happiness or peace or whatever. And you deserve all of those things. So you have to try to find them, but you, again, I'm trying to be careful how to say this, because I don't want to say that you create negative things in your life or you ask for them to happen. It's just when you get stuck in the place of your mindset when those happen, it can kind of keep rolling and keep going. And it doesn't mean that you deserve any of that. It's just you are the creator of your life. You literally write your own story by how you think and feel.
It reminds me, I had Patty Negri on my show sometime last year, and someone called in, and they were like, it was at kind of near the start of the Ukraine war, and they said, can we, wish something bad on Vladimir Putin so he can stop, or to stop him from attacking Ukraine and stuff. And I thought Patty had a great example or a great answer that really mimics everything we're doing here. Instead of wishing ill will onto somebody, think about how to keep the world positive and how to, you know, kind of grow the positivity around everything else. And that, you know, just, you know, that whole thing of just being able to take, I mean, really, when you were talking about the stuff that you just mentioned, I thought it's the high road, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's always taking the high road. And because, you know, I get what war is. I understand that, but it's also like, you know, us as civilians and stuff, you know, I don't want to be the same as the aggressor. You know, I want things just to be peaceful. I want things to be good. And that's, I can't manifest. I don't want to be on the same level as Vladimir Putin by wishing for his death. I much rather be just like hopeful and happy that, you know, that there will be peace somehow again, you know.
Right, because I mean, I can't right here make peace in Ukraine, right? I can't, right? But if I can make peace within me, and that radiates out to the people around me, and that radiates out to like 20 people around me, and now they feel at peace, and then the people around them feel at peace. That's how this is supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, I'm not going to lie, there are people out there with really bad intentions. There are people out there that do evil things. Everybody has free will. They have chosen to do that. And yes, you get caught up in it. Yes, you can get sideswiped by it. That happens. You can't undo that. There's the yin and the yang in the world. That's just how it is. It's how you move forward with it. So it's and it sounds bad, and I don't want to say there's, you know, I don't want to get into that toxic positivity. It was like everything's love and light and perfect and wonderful and there's no such thing as negative. That's not true. It's just you just have to work through it and be able to flip the script for yourself so that you can come back and be in that better place.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. I mean, it's like I say, it's just so much easier ultimately just to be positive and just to be happy and be thankful. And just, you know, there is, you know, just always something good. And, you know, we kind of touched on this, but I did want to touch on it one more time too. The idea of patience during all of this, you know, that it's, you know, and it's just patience in general. Because it is something that, you know, nothing ever happens overnight. You know, you talked about it, but the idea of just, you know, wanting a lot of stuff, like you said, put your bucket list together, list out what you want. And the idea then from that, you know, just know if you feel like you're doing the work, if you feel like that you are putting it into, and you're articulating it as best as you can, just trust the process that
Right.
you're going to start seeing some good stuff happen. But it does take some work.
Right. And you know, and I'm going to paraphrase Maria Shaw because I adore her and she has great advice. And her husband, Joe Lawson, does a fantastic manifesting class. But you have to walk the talk.
Mm-hmm.
You have to live what it is that you want. You literally have to live it. And she always says, and I might get it a little bit off, that's why I say paraphrase. She always says, everything works out in my favor always. And so it's, you know, even when things aren't going out, you know, you always say everything works out in my favor always, or some form of that. You know, like you always have to tell the universe, like, yes, this is what's happening. And you're convincing yourself that's what happens. So on those days where I'm really tired and I catch myself and I say I'm tired, I flip it by saying 5 things positive about myself. So this morning I said, oh, I'm so tired. And I said, but I am strong. I am smart. I am capable. I am grateful. You know, and so I flipped the script on myself. And so yes, I have this, but I outweighed it by the other stuff. So the other stuff is going to come out. You can't undo the thoughts in your head, but bury them with the positive, basically.
You know, it's interesting when you say that. And I'm sure I can't imagine there is no one watching right now who do not like to give people, you know, that they're always happy to give people compliments, right? And
Right.
that you always enjoy to see how they react to compliments. There's also like even videos of people telling their dogs they're good dogs and seeing how their demeanor changes and stuff. And what you just did was you're complimenting yourself.
Right.
You know, that as you said, you know, throughout the program, you know, flip the script And so if like that you like giving compliments to people, give compliments to yourself. It's okay.
Yeah. And I think too, the more that you tell people things, they feel better, which makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So if you're having a hard time saying it for yourself, say it to somebody else. Like I had a little guy at work today showed me his ID, and it was a long ago ID. Because that's when I was handsome. I'm like, you're still very handsome. It's like a small little compliment, You never know how much that means to somebody, and that means a lot. And I learned that lesson years ago when I worked at a doctor's office. This gentleman came in with like fluid on his elbow. The doctor was going to drain it. And I looked at him, and he was an elderly gentleman. I said, would you like to hold my hand? And he looked at me and he got tears in his eyes, and he said, that would be lovely. He goes, I haven't held somebody's hand since my wife died.
No.
And that small gesture meant the absolute world for him. He didn't need it because he was scared. He didn't need it because it was painful. He needed it because he just needed it.
Yeah.
And so for me, I always try to do that with people because you never know on what level they need that.
No. And just to clarify too, when I said compliments, I actually really mean more like affirmations.
Right. But and it's kind of the same, compliments, but affirmations, whatever it is that you can do for the positive, so if giving yourself a compliment is hard, then come up with another way of doing it. This is a really good challenge. I give to my empaths, and some of them have probably forgotten it because they didn't want to do it. But I challenge them to go stand in the bathroom or in a mirror and turn on that John Legend song, All of Me, and sing it to themselves. And that's a hard thing to do. Because even if you just listen to the words and you're saying it to yourself, it can be hard. But it's good because it's about accepting you just as you.
Who would have ever thought that Saturday Night Live skit with Stewart, who looks in the mirror, it's, and he's like, I'm good enough, and I'm, that whole thing. And it's like, we laugh and we think it's corny and everything, but then here we are. It's true. It really is true. You should do that.
Yeah. I mean, good old Minnesota boy, Al Franken.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa, you did it. It is difficult, but I challenge you guys to go try and do it. Just do it. Turn on that song, play it, and stare at yourself in the mirror as long as you can. Definitely, it's hard. It's harder than you think it is, but if that could be your way of changing how you feel about yourself. Now you know, Liz.
Well, and two, I mean, there's a lot of people on here who want to help other people. They've taken your class, they've taken our class, they want to, and you got to love yourself before you can help anyone else.
Right. Yep. I've been watching RuPaul Drag Race. How the hell are you going to love anybody else if you can't love yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to just be you got to be your own champion. And that just also goes in fact that, sometimes you're going to be your only champion in certain situations, and you need to be able to do that. And there's nothing selfish about it, to be able to stand up for yourself and be able to root yourself on.
No, and it's not selfish, and it's not something that you have to tell the world either.
No.
I mean, it's all about you, and it's your own personal relationship with you and how you can do this. So, find a way, whatever way that you can. I try to give as many examples as possible, but definitely just try whatever you can do. Flip the script. Mm-hmm. If nothing else, when you hear negative things, hear my voice say, flip the script, flip it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Lori, it was John Legend's song, All of Me. Is it All of Me? Yeah. It's an older song, like, I don't know, 6-7 years. So, there you go. Lisa's got it. Lisa's got my back.
Yep. Yep. Sure does.
Yeah. So definitely, again, manifesting is just creating not only what it is that you want, but the whole environment around it that helps support it. So you can manifest all the blessings and wishes in the world, but if you don't have the environment to sustain it, it's not going to come to the way you want it. So that means you have to be in that place, your home, your environment, your attitude. You have to live and breathe it, basically.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
It is worth it. And sometimes too, you can manifest so much that you get it all at once, and it's like, whoa, that's a lot.
Yep.
You know, and that happened to me this summer. I manifested the hell out of stuff, and it all plopped in at once, and I'm like, whoa. Time out. I wanted all of that, but some of it isn't quite fitting the way I need it to. So I needed to let some of it go. So even though it was something that I wanted, I had to let it go because it wasn't the right time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's very cool. It's very cool. And it's an ongoing process. And I think that's kind of the fun thing about it, right? I mean,
Right.
it's like, when you start seeing little things happen or bigger things happen, and that's fun. It's like I am growing as a person. I'm making changes, and I feel like I'm in control, really.
Right. Absolutely. And then I know that's hard for a lot of people because just the world seems out of control right now. But that's where you got to focus on this and just what can you do within yourself in your space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you guys liked it. This was fun.
Yeah.
We just thought it was a really great conversation, really great information, and we wanted to share it, but we should have manifested no technical difficulties during Mercury retrograde, which
Didn't happen that. But if you want to hear the episode, it is, and I listened to it today as it happens. It is on am950radio.com. Also, the show is on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So, definitely it's worth listening, and feel free to come back to tonight's program or the radio show for just like and I would do it too, of just like reminders and hints and how to,
right.
just refreshers.
Absolutely. And figure out what works for you. Everybody's different. Some people can meditate, some people can journal, some people can do this or that. Just figure out what it is that works for you. The other really cool little tip that I kind of forgot to mention was okay, so this one didn't work out, which kind of I can see why now. But in 2019, I'm like, I'm going to Italy next year. I'm going to Italy. So I changed my password on a lot of my, it's not the same anymore, on some of my accounts, like to get into my computer and the things that I was touching every day. Italy 2020, Italy 2020. That didn't go very well. So didn't make it, obviously.
Oh. See, that makes sense because my password, and it was I just randomly picked it, was Ernie. So I mean, that's probably, and see, now it all makes sense to me. So I was thinking of the Sesame Street character, but whatever.
Well, see, you gotta be careful what you wish for.
Exactly. I think that should be I'm sure it is a shirt, but I want to make that into a GhostBox shirt with creepy font, careful for what you wish for, and then GhostBox Live. So
I make that happen.
Right. I can.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for joining.
Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, so again, it's just being mindful about it, think about it, really put it into detail and, and be really clear about it. Like if I manifest and it's like a 20 word long sentence, that's okay as long as you have all of the details in there. And well, there you go. Michelle's going to buy that shirt.
I'm holding you to that, Michelle. I really am. I need
and then we're doing good, Jeff. Thank you. So however you want to make it happen, whatever you can do to make it happen. Like you could, if you have a favorite essential oil and you want to write what it is that you're manifesting in the oil on your skin or whatever, I don't know, you pick and choose whatever that is.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it's cool stuff. And hopefully, I don't know, maybe at some point, maybe in like 6 months time or, whatever, we should do a follow-up and see what everyone's been, if you all been doing it, how it's been going, if what have you learned that you can show us? And I mean, it's everyone learns from this stuff.
Absolutely. So yeah, so challenge on. You have 2 challenges now. One, go listen to that song in the mirror and sing it to yourself if you can. And the other one is make your list for manifesting. What do you want for this year? What do you want for 2023? Start small. Maybe you just want to put down, we only got a couple weeks left in January. What do you want for January? Break it down by the months. Or if you're manifesting a vacation, whatever, break it down however you can for whatever it is that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then work on it. And then I want to hear all about it.
Absolutely. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're almost out of time. So thank you, everybody, for joining. This was fantastic. It was a great conversation. Lots of really great questions and lots of great tips that everybody had for their own as well.
And Char, just so you know, when we talked about everything up front, we didn't talk about ghost stories.
My God, I knew there was something we're forgetting. So what is it, February 1st?
It is, in fact, it is February 1st.
February 1st. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am manifesting that all of you that live locally are coming to this because this is going to blow your minds. We took a group of our students to the Grant House for an investigation and 18 minutes of non-stop activity at the Grant House that is off the charts. We had anything and everything that possibly could happen. We had spirit box, we had mediumship, we had being touched, shadows, like all kinds. We had an apparition. Everything happened in 18 minutes. And it happened on the whole, from the basement to the top floor of the hotel all at once. This is going to be an absolutely amazing, fantastic one to listen to. I guarantee you there was not a dry eye from any of us when this happened. It was just touched us so much. And the students that we took with, they're going to tell their story. They're going to tell you how it happened. And you do not want to miss this one. I am so excited for this one.
I think this is the most profound paranormal experience I've ever had in my life. And
absolutely. I mean, we were sitting there like as it all unfolded afterwards, we were talking about it, and all of a sudden everybody looked at us and like, "Is this normal?" We're like, no. And they're like, I literally looked at Greg and I'm like, what do we do from here? Like there is nothing I can think of that would be more epic than what happened in those 18 minutes.
Yeah. No, it's, and like Char said, the group, they're putting it together, they're presenting it. It's in their words. I mean, I mean, each of them had a very massive part in it. And and this is, not to turn into commercial, but the class that we offer, this is really what it kind of comes down to, is that experience of showing what we know, sharing our information, letting folks go and investigate and do stuff. And now the whole side of it, where you're gathering the information and kind of getting reacquainted with the evidence and putting together a cohesive look of that night. And
absolutely.
it's amazing. It's amazing experience for people to do that.
Yeah, and it was amazing for us. I mean, we just,
oh gosh
I mean, you've been doing this, what, 13 years,
mm-hmm.
14 years?
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it like 12, 13 years. And this is every reason we've ever done it. This is the reason we did the class. This is everything right there in 18 minutes.
And I mean, to your point, you just said what I was going to say. It's like this, we don't do paranormal so that we can be freaked out or have crazy things happen to us. This, what you're going to hear that night from these very talented people, is the reason why and to speak for you, is why we got into this and what we want to do in this field. And it's really pretty. That was a grateful moment. I was grateful to be able to see everybody take part and experience. All of us could experience that together.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic. So hopefully we will see you guys all there on February 1st at Billy's in Anoka, 6:30 p.m. Please come out and see us. You guys, I promise you, this is so worth coming to. I cannot wait for this.
Very much so.
All right, so that's really all we got. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Stick around in about an hour and a half for Greg's show on Minnesota GhostBox on his Facebook page, if you want to throw that up there real quick.
Yeah,
please go and follow him tonight at 10 p.m. He is going to reach out to Jackie Gleason. That'll be really, really interesting. Follow him for all of his other really amazing things that he's doing as well. And if you go over to GhostBox Radio on Spotify or iTunes, make sure you leave a review for him. Please. And let him know what you think of his show and everything else.
Only if it's positive. I don't want to hear I don't want to read negative ones.
Keep it in the positive. We're manifesting great reviews for Greg here. Okay. And then make sure you tune in this Sunday. I'll be his guest host once again, and I'm really excited for that. So definitely thank you guys so much for being here. Lisa, yes, we will see you on the 1st. She was one of the people at the Grant House with us. So awesome. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you soon.